This is Tim Willis, and armed only with a copy of OBS and a built-in laptop microphone. This is another video from the Nomad Funnelhacker. Today we are going to be doing part 2 of our look at the Coolors website at coolors.co. I did a video earlier where we explored the tools on the left-hand side of this list. And now we're going to go ahead and look at all the other tools that we have available in Coolors that are on the right-hand side of the list. So we're going to start with the list of colors. And this is pretty much what it says it is. It's a list of colors. They have them divided into categories here. Right now we are on red. Let's go ahead and switch to blue. And you're just going to come down here and you'll have a whole bunch of swatches of colors. This one, RISD blue, for example, we can mouse over it and see the hex code. If we click on it, it will copy that hex code to our clipboard. And really that's all that this section is categories of colors and swatches of the colors that you can get the hex code from. And so you've got more than 500 colors here. That should be enough to get you started on any project you have. So next, let's go to Browse Gradients. This is similar to the list of colors, but these are gradients. And you'll just come to a gradient like this one here. And you can mouse to the left or right and copy the hex code on that. You also can open it up in the editor, open it in the generator. You can copy the URL for this. You can copy CSS code. You can download it as an image, or you can save the gradient. So let's pick out this color here and see what happens when we open it in the editor. You'll open it into the gradient maker, where you can choose 2 different hex codes and make a gradient. So, and then it has a couple of other controls for that. If we choose instead, open in the generator, it basically opens up into our palette generator and just gives us the 2 colors. I don't think that's a very useful feature, but they've included it. And we can copy the URL, we can copy the CSS code. And we can download it as an image. And that works okay, except for one thing. When you download it as an image, and here it is, I bumped it up in the old version of paint.net. It has the branding at the bottom, so you're going to have to use some kind of editor like paint.net to go ahead and trim off that at the bottom if you want to use this in your project. And that's actually what I do a lot of times. I'll just come in this editor like this, and I'll crop the picture and just crop out that bottom part. Like that, and then export the picture where I want. But just be aware that if you do download as an image, you're going to have to deal with that issue. Okay, so that is pretty much it for gradients. You can, of course, save it to your library in Coolors. Next, we have the Create a Gradient, which we've already seen. And it's basically this same tool we saw there, and just where you can take 2 colors and make a gradient out of them. And then you can adjust the angle, the type, or the position as you like. And again, it's kind of got similar features there. We can copy CSS, we can open it in the generator, we can copy the URL, or we can download it as an image. Pretty much related to the section we saw before. Now, if we go to the next section, make a gradient palette, things get a little more wicked, and all this stuff is tied together with that gradient generator. But here we can create a gradient palette using different colors, and this kind of could be handy if you have something where you're able to use more than 2 colors for gradient. We're not able to actually output that in Coolors, but there may be programs that can. But we have a start color here. This is our purple. And then we have an end color, which is our green. And then we're able to specify how many shades of colors we want in between. The default is 7. We could, say, make it 3. Or we could go crazy and make it 15. It's a good way of kind of getting a bunch of variations of between your 2 colors to pick from. Once again, this is all tied to gradient generator, so our choices are to just save this palette in our library, open it in the generator, or make a gradient. So once again, if we open in the generator, we're going to come back to the palette generator. And if we choose make gradient, it's going to take us to the gradient generator. So that's pretty much that for the make gradient palette section. Next, we have the color picker. And the color picker is where you can either use your color palette here, or you can put in a hex code and it will tell you about the color, give you the name, the hex code, and so forth. Then once you do that, it's going to give you some more information down here. It will give you all the codes to different types of color formats. It will give you variations, shades, tints, tones. And each of these is clickable so you can get the hex code on that color. It will give you some color harmony schemes here. And again, all the colors are clickable. And these will change as you change your color. So we are on Kelly Green right now. Let's go ahead and go with something blue instead. We'll go to the Byzantine blue. And here you see that all our colors down here have now changed based off that base color that we have set. And then we have a blindness simulator for people with vision problems. And we have the simple contrast checker. And then it gives us some color libraries that work with this color that we've chosen. So the color picker is a good place to identify the name of a color, get a hex code, or just look at variations on that color that may be close but not exact as the color that we've chosen. Next, we have the collage maker. Go ahead and select an image here. And with this picture here. And you see what it's done? It's identified colors in the picture, and then it's got on the left a picture. And then here it's got some color blocks that is placed on the side. Now, we've got different layouts we can use here. So it gives you this kind of interesting. I've never actually used this in practice, but it gives you different ways you can do a layout based off the picture here. And this, I can see using this, something like this. And of course, once you do that, you can download the collage and then work with it. And that's about all we're going to do in Collage Maker. So let's move on. Next, we have our list of fonts. And it has some subcategories. So basically, it just shows you what different fonts will look like. And there's a whole bunch of them here. But it's just a place for you to kind of check out fonts and See if you like the way you think they'll look on your project. And then we have our image converter. Again, I've never actually used the image converter, basically a bulk converter. So it will convert multiple files. If you need to do some bulk conversion, that could be useful. And that is pretty much it on our list of tools in Coolors. At this point, we have covered pretty much over the course of 2 videos of everything that is in the Coolors program. So that's it for now. My name is Tim Lewis. I'm a certified ClickFunnels funnel builder. I make tutorial and demonstration videos on ClickFunnels, sales funnel building, web page design, and all the tools like Coolors.co that we use to make all that happen. That's the video for now. I'll talk to you later.